Greetings, Earthlings. Tonight we saw Bugonia. Connor, what's the plot of Bugonia?
Bugonia stars Fat Damon and his autistic
Damon
cousin.
now.
Yeah, now he's a skinnier version of Matt Damon, but for a while he used to be Fat Damon. But him and his cousin abduct a business mogul woman, girl boss, and they hold her in their basement because they think she's an alien and they want to have contact with the mothership. And then they kind of torture her, and there's a bunch of psychological elements happening as we kind of unravel the weird psychology behind these two kidnappers. I'm not going to go any further really because, well, the two kidnappers and the mogul. I'm not going to go any further, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. So Aiden, what did you think of Bugonia?
Bugonia is good. It's a remake of a Korean movie. I've never seen it, but I was vaguely aware of it from... I think it was one of those weird movies that got recommended on 4chan a lot, but it's good. It's very gripping for the first 98%. This weird psychological thriller about a man who's lost everything and just wants an explanation. And both of the leads are very good. I guess all three of the leads. But Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone are very, very good in it. And the other guy who plays Fat Damon, now Skinny Damon's mentally handicapped cousin, is also good. He doesn't have nearly as much to do as the other two, but he does what he needs to well. I don't know if he's actually a disabled actor.
I'd presume. You can't go back on that after the Peanut Butter Falcon, bro. After Shia LaBeouf broke the mentally challenged actor barrier.
Yeah.
Not the guy with Down syndrome who was in one movie. It was Shia LaBeouf who did it. Congrats, bro.
Yeah, it's intense, it's weird, it's quiet and loud, and it's everything you want out of a good psychological thriller. Notably, I don't think we're spoiling it, but the Korean version was a dark comedy, so the ending is an interesting remnant of that I think will be very divisive, because this movie is not played for comedy in the slightest. It's very uncomfortable and intense and weird. And
yeah, there's a couple bits in the film that are like, wow, that's a really strange thing to happen based on the tone. And then learning that the original version was a dark comedy explained a lot for me.
Yeah, it's I admire the balls they had to keep the ending intact, but I think people are gonna... it's quite the shift, but this movie largely comprises of three people yelling at each other in a basement, so it's kind of hard to really break it down, but it's a very, very well-made movie. The cast, as small as it is fantastic, and it is excellently shot. It is very beautiful. The ending, I think I liked it. It was interesting. It definitely would have fit better in a movie like the original that was a dark comedy, but I admired the balls to really swing for the fences on that one. It's very good. It's very, very good. Connor, what'd you think of Bugonia?
I also thought it was really good. The stuff with Emma Stone and Fat Damon was incredible. It's good stuff. There's some really good performances in there. It was intense. I really liked the sound editing in it. It was really loud. It was very quiet, but there was always like little buzzing from wasps. There's a lot of honeybees. There's a lot of bee analogies. Kind of, and a lot of just kind of interesting stuff about the question of like falling down a weird pipeline and becoming a kind of a cultist, and what that does to you mentally and what causes people to do that, which is undercut by the ending pretty hard. There is some undercutting moments throughout the film. There's some pretty strange choices in there, but by and large I thought it was really good. Like, there's one moment that really didn't go much of anywhere, but Fat Damon keeps running into his babysitter from when he was a child, and it's kind of implied that he got molested, and then it's pretty much outright said that he was molested later on. And that is just really fucking not touched on or addressed.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's sort of.
Entire scene
I mean, the point is, he's like, this guy's really had a really effed up, fucked up life. That's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah.
But like, and then like
in
he
large
does
part thanks to Emma Stone.
He does kill the guy, but the only reason he kills the guy is because he was pretty much alerted to.
Yeah, but
some
they
weird
have the really
shit going on.
awkward scene where the babysitter, who's now a cop, is trying to apologize, and he starts to feel better because Jesse Plemons is just trying to get him to go away, and he's so oblivious.
Right.
It's very strange, but it's it's interesting.
There's something to be said about it. The whole point is like he's not apologizing because he actually feels bad. He's apologizing to make himself feel better.
Yeah.
Which I think is, and I think there's a lot of like interesting psychological stuff that kind of comes up, and this movie does a good job. That's like a phenomenon of it, but it's not an entirely super relevant plot point. That entire scene could have happened exactly the same minus that. But I mean, there is a lot of stuff where, and another thing is like, I guess it
way
does.
that Emma Stone.
It sort of ties into the
mother's
ending,
situation,
I guess.
and that.
We're just gonna go to spoilers from here. I think we both recommend it, but we're gonna go into spoilers. I guess it kind of does tie into the idea that like, so Emma Stone turned out to actually be like the alien queen of the aliens, and Fat Damon was right about it all.
He was,
and a lot of this movie's like.
Frankly,
a lot of stuff went wrong. He was molested. He was murdering people. His mom was a heroin addict who ended up comatose, and he has to take care of his mentally disabled cousin. And you can see how it kind of devolved into him doing terrible things. Like Emma Stone finds out later on he murdered people and blah blah blah. And you're like, okay, so. It's kind of a Norman Bates situation, but perhaps a little more delved into, where you got a fucked up life, and so you start doing bad things. And then there's the question of like, Emma Stone's kind of a bad person because she does some sketchy things in business, and Fat Damon's a sketchy person because he locked her in her basement and has murdered a bunch of people, but a bunch of shitty stuff happened to him. So that's kind of like, those are kind of like the 3 points of it, which is good. But then it's all kind of undercut by the fact that like, okay, yeah, he was, he kind of fell in like the far left pipeline and the far right pipeline, and blah blah blah, and he was an extremist for the sake of being an extremist this whole time. But then he actually was fucking right about the aliens, so.
Yeah, he was right about everything.
He was right about that.
He did nothing wrong, frankly.
He did nothing wrong. He was right.
He was 100% correct.
Out of all the people he murdered, 2 of them were aliens. That was right. Everything was right.
Sometimes you get some false positives. It's fine.
And you feel like, from the perspective of like, the dark comedy angle, it makes a lot of sense to be like, okay, this crazy nut guy is right. I don't think a lot of these themes couldn't be touched on a weird movie that ends with, it turns out he was right about this one thing, broken clocks right twice a week, or twice a day. I think that's fine. in like a dark comedy. I did think tonally, like, we're looking at a pretty serious, like, psychological movie. There are some, like, minor funny moments here and there, but it doesn't, like, I wouldn't quite go so far to call it like a dark comedy, even if a couple goofy things, or he says something that's kind of goofy inherently because he's a weird guy, you know? So, I don't know. For the most part, it's like this intense psychological thriller, edge of your seat type of stuff, and then Emma Stone turns out to be a fucking alien. Wasn't lying about anything. She was typing on her calculator to try to call the mothership. Not because she was lying, but not because she was buying time, but because,
yeah,
you know,
she got
it's
caught.
just how it worked, you know?
She got caught. He was right.
Yeah. I thought it was a bit of a strange energy at the end, and I almost would have, and also, like, he's about to go up, but then he accidentally light off this homemade explosion he had. Explosive, killing himself, and there's like a scene where he's like played for laughs, and his dummy head is chucked across the room, and everyone's covered in blood, like it's a gag and scary movie or something. Yep. But that wasn't. At first, I was like, "Huh, that was played a little over the top," but it kind of works as an ending, and then it's like, "Oh, it's still going. Oh, she actually is an alien."
Yeah.
Very weird. Very strange.
6 balls to keep that original ending.
Yeah. I mean, it probably worked in the original version better, too. I don't know. This is one of those things. But also, like, if you remake a movie that's beloved by anyone, like, they made some changes to Old Boy and everybody hates that movie. Also just happens to be a bad movie, the Spike Lee version, but...
Yeah, some of the changes are the reason it's a bad movie in that case.
Some of the changes are. But I think in this case, I mean, I would go so far as to say, and like, that's something that's pretty common, less common in America, but especially in like Asian territories. It's like not super uncommon where a movie gets popular as a comedy or as like a drama and they just make it into a comedy. Airplane script was the same script as one of those airport disaster movies, and then they just improv'd basically over the lines.
Yeah.
Because they sold the script to 2 different people somehow, because it was the 70s, and I guess that's how it goes. Yeah, pretty weird. But overall, I like it. I like it quite a bit
too.
No, I liked the ending too, but part of me is like, was it a bit undercutting at the same time? I don't know. I don't know if it's the way I would have ended it, but I thought it took balls, so I don't entirely hate the ending. And I thought that final shot of, like, Emma Stone's just like, fuck it, and, like, pops the earth bubble, and then all the humans die, and it's just, like, animals wandering around and dead people doing everything. They just immediately died. I thought that was kind of an interesting, like, visual concept. So I think there were interesting things for the ending. I honestly, maybe they could have just sold this to Netflix and did a Babadook, or what was that called? The Bandersnatch. Could have had a Bandersnatch moment where it's like, choose your ending, alien, not alien. You know? And everything else is just, it goes as it went.
Bandersnatch got taken down because Netflix didn't want to keep upporting it on their new software. It's gone.
Yeah.
They killed the most popular thing they ever made because they were lazy.
Yeah,
well, second most popular after Stranger Things Season 1.
There's probably an emulator somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. All you gotta do is take all the clips and then have a little button show up. You could do the whole thing in Flash.
Yeah. I'm sure it's preserved somewhere. I'd be amazed if somehow you couldn't experience the Bandersnatch. But, man.
Hey, pal.
The Bandersnatch always just reminded me of those old YouTube videos people would make.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could click on the annotations back in the day.
Yep.
The ghetto version of the Bandersnatch, and that's just lost media. That was kind of annoying when you could just put captions on YouTube. I can see why they took that out, because it was fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, and also
there were some cool
video
things.
Blew up, people would like get calls from online casinos, and the online casinos would be like, just throw annotations with our link all over this shit.
Yeah, pretty much. You could just spam random shit and make it intrusive link to whatever. I can absolutely see why they got rid of annotations. They were like 0.0001% of things, of videos with annotations were used in an interesting or actual, like, intended way.
Yeah.
So I get why they did it. For a while they had like a 2 annotation limit, and then finally they're just like, you can pick what video you want to link at the end. That's what you get.
Yep.
But unrelated, Netflix put this up, choose your ending, Bandersnatch style, and then the next time Netflix has like a minor software update, just remove it.
Yeah.
Just nuke it. Lost media. Just like the Aquaman show and that one Nickelodeon Star Trek show where they made 3 seasons of it, and then they were like somehow got offered by the gods to be able to make the whole thing a big tax write-off, even though they ran it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Or Batgirl didn't even see the light of day. Or Willow. Does anyone remember that they made a season of a Willow soft reboot season?
They also did a Dark Crystal soft reboot.
That also, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Dark Crystal's still up, but I know Willow got nuked off the
I
service.
think Dark Crystal's also gone now.
It's fucking so weird. But it is what it is.
The hell we live in.
Anyhow, Aiden, would you recommend Bugonia?
Absolutely. I'm also very excited to go to my local Blockbuster and rent the original as a comparison. My local Blockbuster. www.blockbusterbay.com. Connor, what'd you think of would you recommend Bugonia?
Would I recommend Bugonia? Yes. I thought it was very good. But Netflix, if you want to take my Bandersnatch idea, HBO Max,
That'll be $10,000 for the idea.
$14,000 check.
Sure.
I feel like if they did it just to cover their bases, they could
Yeah.
they'd send me the check. I don't see why not. Anyhow, if you liked this video,
Watch
thanks.
my video about another adaptation of a Japanese Asian property.
Wow. All Asian
On the
people
right
are
video.
Japanese to you.
No, not in this case.
What do you mean, not in this case? What are you implying here, jackass?